only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
We start tonight with continuing coverage in the search for missing college student Riley Strain. And thanks to Fox 17 News Sky Eye, we can give you a bird's eye view where crews have been searching the Cumberland River. More than a week ago, Strain walked out of a downtown Nashville bar and vanished. One of the big questions tonight, why isn't Metro Police calling this a criminal case? Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino taking that question straight to officers.
Detectives said today that the discovery of Riley's bank card by the riverbank near this area right behind us is not enough probable cause, they said, to elevate this to a criminal case. That said, police say they will not stop until they comb through every single tip and lead in this investigation, and I can tell you there are a whole lot.
And right now, we really are focusing on
bringing Riley home.
His last point.
He's my best friend. He's everything.
Bringing Riley home, it's the focus of those closest to him and of the Metro Nashville police detectives leading the investigation.
This is not going away. This is not going away anytime soon.
Police responding to public scrutiny after women on TikTok discovered a key piece of evidence Sunday, Riley's bank card.
When we start a missing person investigation, we're looking for a person. We're looking for a body. We're not looking for small pieces of evidence. Can we miss some things? Sure. But our primary goal is to find Mr. Strain and bring him home safely.
This amid other concerns that potentially enough is not being done or that MMPD doesn't have enough resources.
People have asked about TBI. It's the same resources they have. So there's not been a need for us to get additional assistance from these other agencies.
Fox 17 News asking why the bank card discovery wasn't enough to change this to a criminal investigation.
Maybe it just fell out and he didn't even realize, or maybe it was forcefully removed.
And just because his bank card was found there, just because somebody heard something, until we have more to shore that up, we can't say that a crime occurred.
Detectives also flooded with tips in light of the massive amount of attention Riley's case has drawn. That includes a Facebook page with more than 50,000 followers. It's a whole lot of potential golden leads to solving Riley's case. It's also a lot of tips and theories to sort through.
People are taking what has already been put out, what the media's put out, and then putting their spin on it, calling back with Crime Stoppers tips that are not actually tips. They're their theory on what happened.
Riley's family saying they're incredibly grateful for the efforts of law enforcement and an army of people working to bring Riley home.
We appreciate more than you'll ever know the outpouring that we've received from the community, from the press, and everyone else involved.
And Metro Police say that they're continuing to recanvass this area as well as homeless camps and look for any possible surveillance video. They did deploy more boats today and search teams to again comb this area for any possible clue leading to where Riley is. Detectives also made it a point to say that they do not believe Riley was being chased by anyone. That's why they said they released that body cam surveillance video yesterday that was worn by an officer. They wanted to show the public that he was walking. They don't believe he had any fear of anyone or that anyone was chasing him. They've gotten a lot of calls in about that potential theory as well. I'm Kelly Avellino in Nashville for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Well, Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connor releasing a statement on the case tonight saying he joins people all across the city in praying for Riley Strain's family and for him to be located. He says he has committed numerous resources to finding Riley and bringing answers to his family.
It rips your heart out. It really does.
Continuing coverage, they're known for helping in a crisis. Tonight, the United Cajun Navy is helping in the search along the Cumberland River for Riley Strain. This is more volunteers stream into Nashville. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller joining us live downtown where search efforts are underway tonight. Caitlin.
Yes, well, the deputy commander of the United Cajun Navy arrived here in Nashville today to assist with this investigation. Now, David Flagg says that he met with the Strain family right in this area to get a tour and find out any information that they know to help devise a plan for their water and ground search that will be taking place this week.
Down over this cliff is where Riley's debit card was found.
David Flagg, deputy commander of the United Cajun Navy, gave us a walkthrough of what the Strain family and investigators have discovered so far. Strain, last seen on Gay Street near the bridge under Public Square Park.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Where he had a quick interaction with a Metro police officer that was discovered through body cam video.
On the right-hand tower, the left-hand side of that dark brown beam is the last camera that captured footage of Riley as he was making his way down here.
Flagg says his team has a hovercraft that gives them a leg up in the search.
We'll just do as exhaustive a search of the water and the banks as we can in that craft. And we also have an airboat coming back here. He was here last week. He's coming back here toward the end of the week.
Flagg says if Strain is on the riverbank, it's very difficult terrain to organize a ground search for people who don't have extensive search and rescue training.
We went down here, and this area here is very representative of the terrain the whole way down along here.
Flagg says there are a lot of individuals who are searching for him and other evidence in this area. But he emphasizes people really have to be careful because it's very steep. There's loose rocks along with trees and trash everywhere. Flagg says that they will be launching from the Shelby Park boat ramp tomorrow morning to begin their search efforts in the Cumberland River. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Well, Fox 17 is committed to bringing you complete coverage of this missing persons case. You can see all of our coverage, including his path through downtown. Just go to fox17.com and search Riley Strain. You can also see a discussion of this case between myself and Kelly Avellino on our Fox Nashville Facebook page. Turning now to Operation Crime and Justice, a teenager is behind bars accused in the shooting death of a security guard in South Nashville. Metro Police say 19-year-old Isaiah Moore and two other people were breaking into vehicles this weekend at the Illusion Bar and Lounge. Investigators believe they shot security guard Maurice Thomas Jr. in the process. The other two are still on the run. Continuing Operation Crime and Justice, Metro Police hoping this sketch leads to the arrest of a man that they say sexually assaulted a 15-year-old boy at Seven Oaks Park in South Nashville. Earlier this month, the teenager says the man grabbed him and pulled him into a wooded area. The suspect is described as white, about 50 years old with freckles and crooked teeth. Police say that he's driving a 2000 model Honda Civic. An update tonight on the plan to close a deadly loophole in Tennessee law. Jillian's Law passed a committee today, moving forward in the Senate. The bill is named in honor of Jillian Ludwig. Metro Police say a stray bullet killed the Belmont student while she walked in a nearby park last year. Court records show the man accused, Shaquille Taylor, has a lengthy criminal history. He wasn't behind bars because experts deemed him incompetent to stand trial, leaving him a free man.
Public safety is at serious risk by allowing dangerous individuals back into society to reoffend without receiving the appropriate mental health services and, candidly, the supervision that they need.
Prosecutors just increased the charges against Taylor this week from assault to murder. All right. First day of spring, getting there, warming up a little bit. Come on, get us there, Katie.
Yeah, I know. You're actually tomorrow looking at temperatures 5 degrees above average for this time of year. Yeah.
That's progress.
That's after being below 5 degrees.
We celebrate all
average.
the victories around here.
That's right. Little as they may be, it is still a positive here for tomorrow with temperatures right around 70 or so. It was a cold start to the day as we started in the 20s and then worked our way up to about 60 for the afternoon. We're going to be about 10 degrees warmer as we head through the day tomorrow. So nice few days ahead for both Wednesday and Thursday. That is all ahead of our next good chance for rain. Things are fairly quiet downtown on Broadway tonight. Our temperature also cool, sitting at 53 with a mainly clear sky at the moment. And the radar will stay quiet for us as well. Front to our north and west will actually push through as we head into Wednesday morning. It'll come through relatively unnoticed, not expecting any rain or really a big cool down. In fact, we're going to do the opposite for tomorrow, warming into those upper 60s. Low tonight, right around 40 here in town. We'll be in the mid 30s out toward the plateau. Murfreesboro at 37, Clarksville right around 39. We'll walk you through our next rain chance that's on the way by the end of the work week and how much we could end up with. Megan?
Thank you, Katie. Big plans ahead, how Metro Council members want to make the
trucking company and the insurance company are not concerned with the victim. I was worried about being able to pay my bills. I enjoyed you representing me because I knew I had to have the best.
Continuing coverage on the East Bank development, the area near the new Titan Stadium, which is expected to open in 2027. And as Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse reports, Metro leaders want to make sure that they make the most of the 30 acres right next to the stadium.
Within the 30 acres near where the new Nissan Stadium will be, city leaders are putting a focus on making that area feel more like a neighborhood as opposed to what you feel when you go downtown. There's expected to be apartments, condos, homes, and even affordable housing. City leaders say this development is a great opportunity to move Nashville forward and are excited about the change for growth.
I don't know of a time really in our country's history where a metropolis that is so developed and such a top city and top destination gets the opportunity to take 100+ acres in its core and say, what do we want to do with this?
The ordinance Metro Council is working to pass is essentially a master development agreement for the city's 30 acres and the developer, Fallon. Metro Council's Chief Development Officer, Bob Mendez, says it could cost $100 million. Some private partners are chipping in and the city taxpayer dollars as well.
The vast majority of rebuilding the pedestrian bridge and the pedestrian and bike access to the pedestrian bridge are going to be paid for by our private partners. Metro is agreeing in this deal to move a gas pipeline that goes through one of the parcels and to pay for the part of the pedestrian bridge that would go over East Bank Boulevard.
But Metro Council has to digest more than 400 pages of this agreement and says before they're able to move this project along, city leaders need time to work through it. Metro leaders say the 30-acre project could take decades to finish. The plan is set to go before Metro Council tonight, but will likely move to April 2nd, and that's for the second reading. And the third reading should be sometime around April 16th. For more information on East Bank development, head over to our website at fox17.com. Reporting downtown, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
In your health news tonight, myeloma is a blood cancer that disproportionately affects African Americans, and men are more likely to develop it. While treatment is limited, there are advances helping patients live longer.
It's a cancer of the plasma cells, which are antibody-creating white blood cells that protect against infection. Myeloma most often strikes those over the age of 45.
And there's over 30,000 people each year in the United States alone that are diagnosed with this particular condition.
Hematologist Dr. Rafael Fonseca with Mayo Clinic says patients with myeloma may experience kidney failure, bone destruction, and pain, as well as anemia. But in his years of training and treatment of myeloma, he's seen a shift in survival rates.
Over 25 years ago, patients had an average life expectancy of about 2 years. Nowadays, many patients can expect to live 10, 15, and even sometimes 20 years after their diagnosis.
Dr. Fonseca says that's due to advances in treatment of the disease, including medications and immunotherapy.
We have antibodies that directly bind to the myeloma cells and kill them. So that's very effective. We have a number of them.
Dr. Fonseca says there are also new therapies like CAR T, a cell therapy, where a patient's T cells, a type of white blood cell, are taken and retrained through genetic engineering.
It can be given back to the person, but now they have a target, and that target is myeloma cells. And some of these treatments are highly, highly effective. In particular, the CAR T cells, we see that in some clinical trials, more than 90% of patients can have very deep responses.
Well, doctors say as research continues and with more advances in available treatments, myeloma could become a curable disease. All right. upticking just a touch in time for spring.
Yeah, and today officially it'll be in under an hour, 10:06 p.m.
Okay.
So yeah, we're looking good as we head into tomorrow afternoon. We'll see temperatures climb to about 70 for the day. So it really is looking nice for the afternoon hours. Great couple days, first days of spring with sunshine around today. Although it was a little cool, the sun was out. It was a beautiful afternoon, and we'll get another day just like it. We're just going to add 10 degrees to the mercury for tomorrow, which I think will be just about perfect for us. Temperature at 10 o'clock right around 53 up to about 67, 68 as we head into the afternoon hours. Mainly sunny skies all the way through the day with a couple clouds as we head more into the evening. Rain chances still looks to be Friday that we're tracking the best chance for showers. It should be area wide. For Saturday and Sunday, looking at dry conditions, and Monday and Tuesday of next week, more rain chances starting to move in. A fairly active pattern looks to set up for us as we head into the second half of March. So we take a look at future track as we walk you through the overnight and into tomorrow morning. Hardly a cloud in the sky. That remains the case all the way even through the afternoon hours. Here's 3 o'clock. And little later in the day, you can see a couple more clouds trying to stream in, but staying dry through the afternoon on Wednesday. And for Thursday, now we take you through Thursday here, and we'll have this move forward to 6 p.m. Thursday night. You can see showers to the south and to the west. As this area of low pressure gets a little bit closer to Middle Tennessee, it's going to start to throw showers our way, mainly after midnight. The main energy will stay well south of us here, but notice by 6 a.m. Friday, we're looking at scattered showers, maybe a few moderate to heavy pockets heading into the afternoon hours. Possibly a rumble of thunder or two, but the overall severe weather threat stays away from us. We are not looking at severe weather for the day on Friday. It's the way it's looking right now, at least. Heavy rain possible, but not enough to create flooding concerns. This should all clear with the second front pushing through by early Saturday morning. So we'll look at a fairly wet day for Friday, and then we dry out just in time for Saturday and for Sunday. How much rain are we expecting? Right now, future track painting, I would say about a ½ inch up to an inch, maybe an inch and a half in some spots. It'll just depend on where some of those heavy pockets decide to set up and where the axis of heavy rain moves through Middle Tennessee, but generally looking at a pretty nice drink of water. I will say the trends over the past couple of runs have showed a little less rainfall in our southern Kentucky counties, with a little more along and south of I-40, and this newest run coming in shows it a little more east toward the Cumberland Plateau. We'll talk more about the weekend ahead, and we've got some more details on the total solar eclipse, why it's very important that you get to totality, but if you can't, I'll talk about what you can see here in Nashville.
I'm Kayla Gaskins. Coming up, the latest push by the White House to make gas-powered vehicles a thing of the past.
Hey there, I'm Fox 17 News This Morning anchor Erica Glover. A major U.S. airline is working to build customers' confidence when it comes to flying. It comes after a string of
66 Ford Fairlane 500 XL and this 1947 Ford two-door street rod. Come see us at Batesford, Lebanon, Tennessee, where we'll trade anything it don't eat.
Looking ahead, the next big push to get Americans to buy electric vehicles is expected this week. Fox 17 News' Kayla Gaskins explains why. And by the way, you can vote on this issue by scanning the QR code that will appear here shortly on your screen.
The Biden administration is reportedly preparing to roll out the toughest limits on pollution for cars and light trucks.
I'm cutting our carbon emissions in half by 2030.
As the EPA finalizes new emission regulations, officials at the EPA claim this will accelerate the country's transition to EVs. The White House saying the effort will reduce American oil imports by around 20 billion barrels. But the announcement comes amid plateauing demand for EVs in the U.S.
This is a decision that is completely disconnected from where the American public is right now.
Ford and General Motors cutting production of their electric vehicles, Tesla slashing prices. Critics worry America doesn't have the energy infrastructure in place to handle mass amounts of drivers ditching gas-powered cars for electric.
Right now, for most Americans, they don't have access to a charging station, and they want to be able to drive the car that suits their family's needs.
Range anxiety, still a concern for many. In 2021, Congress authorized $7.5 billion to build 500,000 public charging stations across the country. As of last December, none were built. In January, the rental car company Hertz began selling off 20,000 electric vehicles from its fleet. The company saying the vehicles were expensive to repair and people didn't want to rent them. This past week, the Hertz CEO responsible for the EV push stepping down.
Unfortunately, this fast race to force Americans into cars that they don't want, I think is going to be rejected at the ballot box if they're not careful.
The new EPA standards for cars and trucks is slated to take effect in 2027. The EPA already mandated half of all vehicles sold in the U.S. must be electric by 2030. I'm Kayla Gaskins reporting.
Well, during that story, we had a QR code that linked up to this poll asking, do you think there should be stricter standards for gas-powered vehicles? And here are the results on your screen. Out of 378 votes, 84.7% say no, 15.3% say yes.
Donald Trump is running out of options and time to secure nearly $500 million. I'm Christine Frizzell in Washington with why some legal experts now say the ruling is unconstitutional.
Tonight in Crisis in the Classroom, as the bill promoting school choice continues to advance in the state legislature, another mid-state school district is pushing back against vouchers with mixed feelings on the Williamson County School Board.
A spirited debate among Williamson County School Board members discussing Governor Bill Lee's school voucher program. If passed, eligible students would get just over $7,000 a year of taxpayer money to put towards homeschool or a private school of their choice. Another caveat of the bill would allow families to send their kids to any school district of their choice. This leaves Williamson County's A+ rated public school district vulnerable to overcrowding issues and staffing dilemmas.
Our state legislators assured us last year this was not going to have any impact on Williamson County, and they sure have backtracked from that direct personal assurance to us.
Even though the district doesn't have a say at what's decided at the state level, board members are debating whether it's within their role to take a position in the debate and release a statement for or against the controversial bill.
I respect those who've weighed in. I've got people who are friends, people who I have deep respect for, who've weighed in support of the resolution or who oppose vouchers. It isn't about someone's philosophical views on this issue. To me, this is about what the appropriate role of this board is.
And I don't feel like this is threatening Williamson County from what I can see, so far. I agree on some things and I disagree on others. But just to remind you folks, there's 80,000 people out there that are pro and con on this same issue.
Williamson County School Board members eventually voted against the school voucher program, signaling their opposition to the governor. Earlier this year, the Wilson County School Board also publicly opposed the voucher program, hoping to put mounting pressure on lawmakers.
Well, the House Government Operations Committee gave the school voucher bill positive recommendations. The legislation now moves on to the House Finance Committee. Hot topic here, and we want to know what you think. Do you think the school vouchers should be allowed in Tennessee? 1,629 votes on this. 81.6% say yes. 18.4% say no. This poll is live right now. There's still time to cast your vote. Scan that QR code right there on the right hand of your screen. It will take you to our X page. You can also find us by our handle at Fox Nashville. Go ahead and vote, and we will show you those updated poll results here a little later in the newscast. Crisis in the Classroom is Fox 17 News' commitment to exposing problems in our schools and finding solutions. If you have a story you think we should cover, send us an email to news@fox17.com. You can also call our tip line at 615-266-4149. New tonight, time is running out. Former President Trump has less than a week to come up with more than $450 million in connection to his civil fraud judgment. Fox 17 News' Christine Frizzell with the case against him and why some legal scholars say the judgment is unconstitutional.
How can you run for election if you're sitting in a courthouse?
His anger is palpable. Former President Donald Trump running out of options, calling the ruling in his New York civil fraud case a witch hunt and election interference.
And that's why we must do everything in our power.
But in a matter of days, New York Attorney General Letitia James may be able to start seizing his assets, including Trump Tower, if he doesn't put up the cash, $454 million by March 25th. More than 30 bond companies have already denied him the money. It's a fine some legal experts say violates the 8th Amendment of the Constitution.
The amount is extremely excessive. It violates the cruel and unusual punishment provisions of the Constitution that include excessive fines as being prohibited. There was no damage done here. The judge just made up this figure.
Constitutional law professor Alan Dershowitz warns the impact could be a chilling effect on others.
You can't deny somebody the right to appeal based on lack of funds. That's a violation of equal protection and a violation of due process.
Some have also called the case politically motivated, since Attorney General Letitia James ran on the promise of going after Trump.
I look forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him.
I say one name, Donald Trump.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass.
But in the civil fraud case, the judge concluded Trump and his associates engaged in a years-long conspiracy to deceive banks and insurers by inflating the value of his properties and the size of his wealth, took no responsibility, and showed no remorse.
Donald Trump falsely, knowingly, inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself, his family, and to cheat the system.
This week, Donald Trump's lawyers called the difficulties in obtaining this money insurmountable. He was able to secure a more than $90 million bond to guarantee a defamation judgment he owes to writer E. Jean Carroll in a separate case. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzau.
Tonight, looking at another mainly clear evening with light winds, and that'll help drop temperatures down to about 40 for the overnight hours here. Live look from downtown and overlooking our Nissan Stadium camera. And looks like off in the distance there, it just caught my eye. Looks like a plane coming in. You see it on the top left corner? No, it's kind of going in and out there, but you can see that little dot that's moving. Looks like an incoming plane. Yep. Random side note, as we head into the next couple of days here, we are looking at sunsets that will take place after 7 p.m. Now, tonight, that sunset was at 6:58. Tomorrow, it'll be at 6:59. And then the 21st, we are looking at sunsets after 7 p.m. That should last and will last all the way through the summer and into almost the beginning of fall. So exciting here. April 1st, we're at 7:09 for the sunset, and May 1st, right around 7:35. Now, tomorrow morning, getting up, things are going to be a little on the cool side. We'll be hovering right at about 40 degrees here in Nashville. The good news is the sunshine will be out. That'll help warm us up quickly. Looking at temperatures in those low 50s as we head towards 10. More on the total solar eclipse and what we will see here in Nashville. It's in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast. Megan. Thank you, Katie. Knowing the risk, who is most vulnerable to measles as it continues to grow?
Arts Center this May. Get your tickets today at tpac.org.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection.
In a Fox 17 News Health Alert tonight, the CDC warns that measles cases so far in 2024 have already reached the total number of cases for 2023, and we're not even to April yet. Tonight, we're joined by infectious disease expert Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University. Dr. Schaffner, do these numbers surprise you?
Oh, they surprise me, and more than that, Megan, they distress me. I mean, measles is a totally preventable disease. We had eliminated it from the United States, but measles is back, imported from abroad by our own people. Children who've been withheld from vaccination, they remain susceptible. They go abroad, pick up the virus, bring it home, and spread it to their unvaccinated friends.
So that's interesting, a trend that we've seen from 2023 now carry over into 2024. Who is most at risk? Is it children, unvaccinated children here?
It's mostly unvaccinated children. I'd say 95%, because most adults in the United States have gone to school here, and in order to go to school here, unless you had a medical or other exemption, you had to be vaccinated against measles. So the vast majority of us, we adults, are protected, but it's children who've been withheld from vaccination who remain susceptible. And measles is a very nasty virus that produces very serious illness in children.
Is there a risk to infants that have not yet been vaccinated or are planning to do so? Is there a window of risk there for babies?
Well, babies get some protection from their mothers if they've been vaccinated, because some of that protection crosses the placenta. But that protection wears off fairly quickly, and by the time they get to 5-6 months of age, they start to be susceptible. And if infants get infected, they can have very, very serious disease.
All right, Dr. William Schaffner, always on top of things from Vanderbilt University. Thank you so much for your expertise tonight.
My pleasure.
An update tonight as Metro Council just deferred the plan to address the East Bank development. That development is set to occupy 30 acres around the new Titan Stadium. It would include apartments and office space. Council members say the agreement is 400 pages long, and they just needed more time to go over the documents before approving the plan. They will now take up the issue again April 2nd.
Coming up, talking more about the total solar eclipse, where you need to go to see it in totality, and what you can see here in Nashville.
Mexico taking a stand how it could hamper a brand new Texas.
An extra 10% during our anniversary sale, going on now at all 3 Lazy Boy locations.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Electronic Express. We make it happen.
New tonight, Tennesseans supporting immigrants and refugees. More than 150 people representing 20 countries took part in the Immigrant and Refugee Day on the Hill at our state capitol. Right now, Tennessee lawmakers are debating a slate of bills focused on immigration. Supporters say these bills work to fix a broken system. Critics say those bills exclude and criminalize immigrant families, making life harder instead of providing access to critical resources.
Just like the rest of us, just like the rest of Tennessee, are really struggling, to make ends meet, whether that's with the cost of living, housing cost, trying to find accessible health care, the same things that everybody struggles with, right? And we need legislators to focus on that.
Immigrants and their advocates shared their stories with lawmakers to encourage them to support immigrants in Tennessee. And breaking news right now involving immigration here in the U.S. Tonight, Mexico says it will not accept migrants ordered to leave the U.S. under Texas' strict new immigration law. The response comes after a divided Supreme Court decision allowing the Texas law to go into effect. Police can now arrest people that they suspect of being in the country illegally. Several Republican governors support the plan, saying the federal government is not doing enough to enforce immigration laws.
It basically says we can arrest, we can detain, and we can either put you in jail or send you back.
Arresting officers need probable cause, like witnessing the illegal entry themselves or seeing it on video. Legal experts and immigrant rights groups say enforcement should stay with the federal government and worries about racial profiling. An update tonight to the search when it comes to this missing person that has gone on for over a week. A positive update here. Clarksville police say officers have found Sean Beery. Coworkers reported the 53-year-old missing back on March 9th when he did not show up for work. Officers are not going into detail, just saying that he is safe. And new tonight, a major milestone for an organization that helps take care of victims of violence here in Nashville. The Family Safety Center celebrating its 5-year anniversary. Before it opened, Nashvillians dealing with things like domestic violence had to travel to various organizations for resources. Victim advocates say it left them vulnerable to attacks by their abusers.
This is incredibly meaningful work to be able to help people at some of the hardest moments in their lives and that have experienced ongoing and chronic trauma. And so we have a lot of case managers, advocates, and therapists all in this building to try to help people with the decisions that they need to make to get to the next step in safety.
City leaders invested $26.5 million to build the largest and most comprehensive family justice center in the nation. If you or somebody you know needs help, the Family Center is located in South Nashville at 610 Murfreesboro Pike. They're open 9 through 6, Monday through Friday. We have a link on their website. We'll just post it on our website. Go to fox17.com or click on Fox Links.
Well, let's talk more about the total solar eclipse. We are now just under 3 weeks away from the event. And again, totality this time around will not be in Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky within our viewing area. We are just outside of totality, which I will talk about here in just a second. First, what is a total solar eclipse? It's when the moon passes between the sun and the earth and covers it completely. It looks just like this. And if you were here in 2017, you remember what an amazing event it was here in Middle Tennessee as it moved right over a lot of locations here. Now, this time around, we are looking at 95% of the sun covered. It will not be a total solar eclipse. It's a partial solar eclipse for us here, but this will be what it looks like. And the only way you can look at it safely is with protective eyewear. So you need to make sure that you've got those protective glasses, or you're looking at it indirectly with other ways to do that, of course, but the eyewear is the easiest way to do so. Now, time for us, the partial begins at 12:44. Max coverage at 95% is at 2:03. If you don't know what's going on, you wouldn't know. It's not like it's going to get dark. You won't be able to tell at all, which I think is fascinating. 95% of the sun covered, and you wouldn't even notice that it is covered. You need 100% coverage for the spectacle that we had in 2017. And this is where the path is. Again, we're right in that 90% range. We're just outside of totality this time, but it's worth traveling to if you haven't already made plans. This is some of the cities in the path include Dallas, Waco, and Austin, right on the edge. A little closer to home here, looking at Jonesboro, Arkansas, Evansville, Paducah will be in totality for just over 1 minute. Bloomington, Indiana, Indianapolis, Carbondale, Illinois, also going to be about 4 minutes in totality. And then it moves over places like Cleveland, Erie, Buffalo, and continues into Canada, into Quebec. So that's where the path of totality will be. And again, this will be on April 8th. Of course, you need to make sure too that it's sunny outside, because if we've got cloud cover, we won't be able to see very much. You'll see other cool things, of course, within totality, like it getting darker. You can see animals reacting. The cicadas came out in 2017 here. So neat things going on, but boy, you need 100% totality in a clear sky really to get the full effect. Well, social media under attack from educators in Tennessee. Why school leaders say your child is at risk and what they want done right now to protect them. And a heated debate surrounding school choice. What you have to say about the governor's plan. And almost 2/3 of fourth graders here in the U.S. struggle to read at grade level. That's why Fox 17 and our parent company, Sinclair.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Eurostone. This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Zander Insurance.
Tonight, Metro Nashville schools, just one of more than a dozen school systems across Tennessee suing several social media platforms. Are highlighted in yellow here, and other school systems in the mid-state included in this, Montgomery County as well as Wilson County, all included in this lawsuit. The lawsuit wants the owners of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and several other social media sites to provide accountability and tools to protect children. School leaders say without proper safeguards, students are turning to social media more often, and with that, they're seeing increased classroom disruptions, a rise in mental health issues, and expanding health concerns. Earlier in the newscast, we told you about our X poll up and running, asking the question, do you think school vouchers should be allowed in the state of Tennessee? And you see the results there on your screen. 1,662 people have weighed in. 81.2% say yes, vouchers should be allowed, compared to 18.8% that say no. We'll have another update on these numbers for you tonight on Fox 17 News at 10. Each night, look for a new poll on our X page that you can participate in. Students showing off the special event cheering on.
Savings of up to 40% off on 4K TVs from your favorite brands. Plus, get up to 36 months free financing. It's Markdown Mania at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
In your education news, hundreds of Rutherford County students got to celebrate months of hard work. More than 400 students took part in the 6th annual Rutherford County School STEM Expo. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. The 3-hour event featured hundreds of projects by elementary, middle, and high school students.
Federal prosecutors investigating Facebook and Instagram's alleged role in illegal online drug sales. I'm Atrell Nashar with what the company says they're actually doing behind the scenes.
This is Fox 17 News at 10, your Code Red station.
Continuing coverage tonight on the search for Riley Strain. Fox 17 News Sky Eye flying over the Cumberland River downtown today, where crews have focused in on their search. Tonight, the missing college student's family questioning Metro Police, asking if officers are exploring every option. Strain walked out of a downtown bar over a week ago and vanished. This weekend, 2 women found his debit card along the riverbank. A big question for the family tonight: why is this still not considered a criminal investigation? Something we ourselves asked police.
Maybe it just fell out and he didn't even realize, or maybe it was forcefully removed.
And just because his bank card was found there, just because somebody heard something, until we have more to shore that up, we can't say that a crime occurred.
Riley's family does say that they are grateful for all the efforts to find him.
You know, if Riley went into the water, there's every possibility that he could be far downstream at this point.
Continuing coverage, they're known for helping during disasters and missing person cases. Tonight, the United Cajun Navy is helping in the search along the Cumberland River for Riley Strain. This as more volunteers stream into Nashville. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller joining us live downtown from where those search efforts are underway. Caitlin.
Yes, so the United Cajun Navy brought in a hovercraft today to use to start searching the Cumberland River starting tomorrow morning. Now, we spoke with David Flagg today, who's the commander of the United Cajun Navy, and he gave us a walkthrough of what the Strain family and investigators have discovered so far. Strain was last seen on Gay Street near the bridge under Public Square Park, where he had a quick interaction with a Metro police officer that was discovered through body cam video. Flagg explains that was the last camera that captured footage of Riley before he went missing. Flagg says that his team has a hovercraft that gives them a leg up in this search.
And we'll just do as exhaustive a search of the water and the banks as we can in that craft. And we also have an airboat coming back here. He was here last week. He's coming back here toward the end of the week.
Flagg says if Strain is on the riverbank, it's very difficult terrain to organize a ground search for people who don't have extensive search and rescue training. Now, Flagg says that they will launch tomorrow morning from the Shelby Park boat ramp and begin their water search tomorrow for the Cumberland River. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Thank you, Caitlin. An update now in Operation Crime and Justice tonight as Metro Police release a sketch of the man accused of sexually assaulting a teen boy in a Nashville park earlier this month. The suspect is accused of assaulting a 15-year-old in Seven Oaks Park back on March 7th. An artist with the TBI worked with the victim to develop the sketch. Police say the victim told officers that he went to the park near his home when a strange man dragged him into the woods. The teen says the man ran away after seeing other people nearby. For a full description of the suspect, just go to fox17.com and click on this story.
Well, happy spring, just under 3 minutes away. Right now, I've got a clock at the bottom of the camera here, so maybe during weather or just after weather, I'll yell out happy spring. It'll probably be after weather because I'm not going 3 minutes for weather. The producer's like, no. We are looking at temperatures today to be, well, they were a little cool. Tomorrow they're going to be a little bit warmer, about 10 degrees warmer. So we go from about 5 degrees below average to 5 degrees above average for tomorrow compared to today. So nice few days ahead. Our next chance for rain, though, is not far away. Live look here from our Metro Center camera. Another quiet night. The radar showing the same thing. In fact, we're watching this cold front advance our way. It's not going to really do much as far as bring us any rain. It's not even going to cool us down as we head into tomorrow. Temperatures will climb. We were at 60 today. I'm expecting a high around 68 for tomorrow. 40 our temperature through the overnight. Lebanon, Murfreesboro sitting in the upper 30s. Clarksville right around 39 degrees. We will talk more about this rain chance that's on the way by the end of the week and how much we could end up with in the rain gauge. It's in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast. New tonight, lawmakers in both chambers of the Tennessee legislature are supporting a bill to ban marriage between first cousins in the state. Democratic Representative Darren Jernigan and Senator Jeff Yarborough are behind the plan. If passed into law, the bill would take effect immediately.
Well, the frenzy over AI is now filling sports arenas. I'm Kelly O'Grady in New York. I'll have the full story coming up.
Almost 2/3 of fourth graders in the U.S. struggle to read at grade level. That's why Fox 17 and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, partnering up with Reading is Fundamental to supporting children's literacy. You can scan this QR code to donate to our virtual book drive.
Hey there, I'm Fox 17 News This Morning anchor Erica Glover. A major U.S. airline is working to build customers' confidence when it comes to flying. It comes after this.
Molecules.
The Big Bang Theory.
Tomorrow at 6 on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Homebuyers.
In national news tonight, congressional negotiators announcing an agreement with the White House to avoid a government shutdown. The deal finalizes funding for the Department of Homeland Security, one of the sticking points holding up the agreement. It moves Congress to step forward in resolving what could become a fiscal crisis. There are 5 other agencies at risk of shutdown. The deadline is this Friday, and lawmakers say they're optimistic.
I'm hopeful. So far, Speaker Johnson has been willing to sit down with President Biden and Leader Jeffries and fund the government. As you know, we've funded part of the government, and I'm hopeful we will be able to get a deal so we avert a shutdown.
Well, to get the first spending package passed and to the Senate, the House Speaker ignored conservative headliners and relied on Democratic votes. Some believe that will be necessary again. Now to science and technology. The AI arms race is just getting started. One company just unveiled the next generation of chips and software to extend its dominance as the go-to supplier for AI companies. Fox News' Kelly O'Grady has more on this new chip.
Well, the next NVIDIA wave may be here. The company's CEO Jensen Huang unveiled a new generation of chips at a sports arena in San Jose. One analyst dubbed the event AI Woodstock. Now, the new chip line is called Blackwell, and it succeeds the Hopper line of chips that catapulted NVIDIA's market value above $2 trillion, making it the 3rd largest listed U.S. company behind only Apple and Microsoft. Now, Blackwell is being billed as faster, larger, and more efficient with up to 5 times more performance. It was designed specifically to support the underlying technology of language models like ChatGPT. Now, Huang shared the chips would ship later this year. Customers already include Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Oracle. The CEO said the new chips would power the next industrial revolution. Listen.
Anything you can digitize, so long as there's structure, we can probably learn some patterns from it. And if we can learn the patterns from it, we can understand its meaning. If we can understand its meaning, we might be able to generate it as well. And so therefore, the generative AI revolution is here.
The NVIDIA CEO shared the new chip will command $30,000 to $40,000 on the market. And while the AI giant has had a monster run, it's up 240% in the last year. Another new product could open up a whole new avenue. Now, NVIDIA announced a new revenue-generating software allowing chip customers to run and develop programs on top of the hardware. Not only gives customers another reason to stick with NVIDIA chips, but allows the company to build an ecosystem, much like Apple and Microsoft. But as the rise of AI accelerates, the nagging question becomes, will AI be net positive or net negative? In New York, Kelly O'Grady, Fox Business.
Federal prosecutors investigating Facebook and Instagram's alleged role in illegal online drug sales. I'm Atrell Nashar with what the company says they're actually
rate based on you. Call 1-888-ALL-STATE for a quote today.
Japan's Nippon Steel is pledging to move its U.S. headquarters to Pittsburgh if a deal to buy U.S. Steel goes through. The company's $15 billion takeover proposal has drawn criticism in the Steel City and in Washington. President Joe Biden saying last week the company should stay U.S. owned. And former President Trump is promising to block the deal if he wins the race in November. And you can call it a banana split. Unilever is going to spin off its ice cream business, which includes Ben & Jerry's, among other names. The consumer goods company is undergoing a restructuring plan that will impact about 7,500 jobs. That plan begins immediately and will likely be completed by the end of 2025. Unilever said it wants to become a simpler, more focused company. Finally, a new study reveals a pill could replace your exercise routine. Researchers spent 10 years working to mimic the physical benefits of a workout using compounds. They say the pills would boost your metabolism and improve muscle performance. However, more testing needs to be done before the pill can be available for human use. That's business. In New York, CJ Papa, Fox News.
Well, earlier in the newscast, we told you about our X poll asking the question, do you think school vouchers should be allowed in Tennessee? Out of 1,681 votes, 81.1% of respondents say yes, 18.9% say no. In your tech news this week, Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, under investigation by federal prosecutors in Virginia. They want to know what role the company may be playing in the sale of illegal drugs on its platforms. Fox 17 News' Atrell Nashar has a closer look.
Drug trafficking these days is often done by the tap of a touchscreen. Dealers and buyers turning to apps like Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. The DEA says using emoji codes for cocaine, heroin, Adderall, Percocet, and oxycodone. Then pay on another app like Venmo or Zelle. The DEA also says those sales are directly connected to overdose deaths.
Remember that no legitimate medication can be purchased on social media.
The Wall Street Journal, first to report, federal prosecutors in Virginia are investigating whether Meta's platforms facilitate and profit from those drug sales. Meta tells us the sale of illicit drugs is against our policies and we work to find and remove the content from our services. Meta proactively cooperates with law enforcement authorities to help combat the sale and distribution of illicit drugs. In 2020, Congress set up a commission to combat synthetic opioid trafficking. Researchers like David Luckey proved how accessible these drugs are when they searched common terms on various platforms.
We found that it was extremely simple and easy and inexpensive. The sites themselves have to self-monitor. If they're not able or willing to self-monitor, then regulations need to be put in place so that others can monitor them.
Drug sales are not the only illegal activity on Meta's platforms under scrutiny. In a lawsuit filed late last year, New Mexico's Attorney General accuses the company of funneling likely victims of sexual exploitation, often children, to potential predators. On this issue, Meta also points to its cooperation with law enforcement, information sharing with other companies, and work with child safety experts to root out predators.
Congress also has a lot of catching up to do when it comes to filling in the regulatory gaps to crack down on dangerous activity on social media. Now, in just the past 14 months, dozens of bills to do that have been introduced. But so far, just a small handful have been brought up for a vote. On Capitol Hill, I'm Atrell Nashar.
New tonight, healthcare provider United Health says its subsidiary company is making strides to recover from a cyber attack last month. United Health says it's testing software for submitting medical claims for its Change Healthcare company. The company says most of the Change Healthcare's for the other major systems have been largely restored. Change Healthcare was the target of a ransomware attack last month. A Russian-based ransomware group took the blame for the attack. And in world news tonight, cities in India making up 83 of the 100 most air-polluted cities in the world last year. That's according to a new report published by IQ Air. The only non-Asian city on the top 100 list was Benoni, South Africa at 96. IQ Air says the most polluted major U.S. city in 2023 was Columbus, Ohio, while the report listed Las Vegas as the cleanest major city. Ohio and Vegas, top and bottom of the list. Imagine that.
Interesting.
I wouldn't have thought that.
No, I wouldn't either. Kind of, I don't know. Yeah, kind of random, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's start off with a live look here from our South Nashville camera. We are looking at a quiet night as we head into the overnight hours. It's not going to be quite as cold as where we were this morning, but chilly, we'll call it, for the first day of spring. Now officially spring with 10:06 now behind us. We'll see highs tomorrow right around 70 degrees, which is a little above average for this time of year. A beautiful afternoon to get outside and enjoy. Lots of sunshine throughout the day, maybe a few clouds as we head into the later part of the afternoon. Temperatures in those upper 60s, close to 70 degrees for the day. We'll see our best chance for showers over the next 7 days on Friday. And the good news is I don't see severe weather as a problem for us. This will be just a good old-fashioned rain that is moving through. Saturday and Sunday, timing working out this weekend. Will be dry, and then we go into work next week. Rain chances on the rise again, especially as we head towards Tuesday. So walking you through the overnight into tomorrow morning, no clouds in the sky. We head into Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. We're looking at a few clouds around, but generally looking at, again, a beautiful night with just a few clouds for early Thursday morning. Now, clouds will continue to move in as we head towards Thursday afternoon, all ahead of our next rain chance. This is at 6 p.m. on Thursday, so the day is dry for Thursday here, but we'll find increasing clouds. A little bit later in the early morning hours of Friday, we'll start to see those showers build in from the south and the west. More rain as we head towards 6 a.m., even more as we head towards the afternoon. So rain chances really starting to pick up early Friday morning through midday. And notice that we're looking at a few moderate to heavy pockets that'll be around. Again, severe weather not a problem for us here. This will be a good old-fashioned rain that'll continue through Friday evening before clearing going into early Saturday morning. So that secondary front coming through is going to help push this whole system out and will dry us out, and we'll be looking good for the weekend. How much rain could you expect in the rain gauge? Right now, it's looking like maybe a ½ inch up to an inch. Some areas could see a little bit more than that. Some could see a little less. A lot of the trends, or at least the last few model runs, I've seen less rainfall in our northern counties up towards the Tennessee-Kentucky border, and a little more east and south. So that'll be where we have, I think, a little bit higher chance of seeing rainfall over 1 inch of rain. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 60 is the story all the way through the end of the week. The weekend is looking beautiful. Lots of sunshine with those highs around 68 to 70. Crisp morning starts to the morning, I should say, with the mid 40s and then up to 70. That is some great spring weather right there.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
The last hours of winter brought fresh snowfall to Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Snow is also expected in the upper Midwest later this week. Overnight freeze warnings across the South left flowers like this in central Alabama covered in frost. And you might call the last sunrise of winter in Bluff City, Tennessee, a fiery experience. Happy spring.
Listen to Off the Radar, new episodes every Tuesday. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.
You can see more stories like this every weekday morning on the National Weather Desk. It starts at 8 a.m. on our sister station, MyTV30.
It's the new 2024 Sportage LX for $279 a month.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by the Nashville Preds.
Continuing coverage tonight, more details emerging about efforts to get trapped Americans out of Haiti as the nation plunges into civil and political turmoil. Fox News' Juliet Turner breaks it all down.
We are exploring options for American citizens to depart Haiti from Port-au-Prince.
The State Department, facing intense pressure from Americans stranded in Haiti, says they're now looking for a way to evacuate U.S. citizens via helicopter. As officials scramble to put those plans in place, members of Congress have begun taking matters into their own hands. Republican Corey Mills says his office has rescued 23 Americans.
You've got this deputy spokesman saying it's their top priority for the safety and security, but it's not. It is not their top priority. If it was, they would have actually been starting flights out of the Cap Haitien.
The State Department responding with this warning.
Operations like these that are sort of done deviating from formal State Department operations, they can be high risk. We're talking about a country that's been a level 4 do not travel country since 2020.
Some U.S. citizens unwilling to risk waiting are fleeing Haiti on foot.
Dominican immigration officials tell Fox at least 359 Americans have left Haiti through this border crossing since March 1st. It's a 6-hour drive from Haiti's gang-controlled capital. The State Department warning Americans to travel at their own risk and keep a low profile.
Even during today's congressional hearing on the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, the fate of those Americans hoping to get out of Haiti very much on lawmakers' minds.
I hope, Mr. Chairman, we can soon get a classified briefing on the situation going on there.
The Biden administration's last evacuation of American citizens from Haiti was now more than 3 days ago. There were no evacuations of Americans today, and the State Department says those helicopter rescue missions could move forward as soon as this week. At the State Department, Jillian Turner, Fox News.
In national news, the White House is slightly easing its strict standards for automobile emissions, at least for now. The Associated Press reports the Environmental Protection Agency will relax its ambitious goal of electric vehicles making up to 67% of new vehicle sales by 2032. Data shows electric vehicle sales are declining, and the auto industry says the limits are hurting sales. President Biden is fighting for cooperation from the industry, which makes up a key voting bloc.
It's a common term now, the gray divorce, for those who divorce later in life. I'm Liz Bonus. What we all need to know now when it comes to emotional healing, it is just ahead.
Snack our fried shrimp po' boys, shrimp basket, and the new Krabby Cake slider. It's all a catch for a limited time. Seafood, eat food at Crystal.
In your health news, new research on divorce later in life shows it's costly both emotionally and financially. Fox 17 medical reporter Liz Bonus shares what counselors say may help in the healing.
Hey there, hello to you. The gray divorce is a term that comes from the American Association of Retired Persons, or AARP, to define divorces involving individuals ages 50 and older. The rates for it have doubled in recent decades, and we're just starting to learn more about its emotional impacts.
Nobody is quite sure why these divorces are happening and if that emotional impact is lifelong. But Betsy Linnell, an assistant professor of psychology and clinical counselor at Ohio's Cedarville University, says, well, some of it may be a greater acceptance of divorce.
There's also just more brokenness in our world, unfortunately.
That brokenness has led to a jump from 5 in 1,000 marriages to 12 in 1,000 in the most recent numbers available of gray divorce. The financial cost is also high. A man can expect his standard of living to drop about 20%, a woman more than 40%. That alone can impact depression, anxiety, and other mental health problems.
So what do you see in couples that split up after a long marriage?
Even individuals that are separating because of infidelity or abuse, there are just situations in which they have a harder time adjusting, realizing I'm going to be without this person, and that grief that is normal in any separation is increased because of the years of memory.
So isn't there an initial bump in happiness in those who find love again?
Almost a quarter of those individuals that do go through a divorce in later life actually end up in a new relationship within 10 years. And we have not yet seen the statistics on whether those relationships make it or whether they are rebound relationships. We don't have that data yet.
Betsy says aside from the financial hardship, health problems that often arrive later in life, and even the change in a relationship with adult children can all impact happiness following a gray divorce.
She says even if you know that you made the hard right choice for you, if you do notice you haven't had sort of the same joy in your life since the gray divorce, don't be afraid to reach out to those that can support you. With your health news, I'm Liz Bonus reporting.
And some would say it's the best decision they've ever made.
Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. We are going to be looking at highs near 70 for tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. We'll see really dry conditions for Thursday.